guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is a sit down video, as you can tell. I want to do a book review. So shocker, I read and finished a book actually a few months ago, but I'm just now doing this because I didn't have time to film the book review of this video. But I read a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, and many people know about it, and I've wanted to read it for a long time, and I finally got the chance to read it. So good. Not a reader, wanting to be a reader and trying to be a reader, but that book, amazing, and I loved it, and I feel like it taught me a lot about life and like different perspectives and different things. It comes with like a lot of advice and a lot of perspectives and very, very nice quotes and things to reflect on. So what I did is I wrote down some quotes that stood out to me and that I'm like, wow, this applies to my life in a sense, or I can apply it to my life. And I wrote notes about it and like my opinions on it, I guess. So yeah, enjoy. First quote that I wrote down, it says, "There are those who suffer psychologically and emotionally from neurological and or genetic deficiencies, but this changes nothing. Sure, they're inherited at bad hand and are not to blame. No more than the short guy wanting to get a date is to blame for being short, or the person who got robbed is to blame for being robbed. But it is still their responsibility whether they choose to seek psychiatric treatment, undergo therapy, or do nothing." So in a sense, this quote, it's not like the person's fault for having the problem or the mental illness, because they obviously did not ask for it. They did not wake up one day and be like, oh, I want a mental illness, let me have it. But they're still like responsible for like their own mind in a sense. Sorry, it's hot. This is dark. It's not like, I hate when people like use their mental illness as an excuse for bad behavior. So like if someone like shouts at you or like yells at you for no reason, yes, they kind of can't control it because they have like anxiety or stress, like, because that's how I am. I get really mad at someone whenever I'm under stress for no reason and I'm trying to fix it as well. But they're still responsible for getting help in a sense, so whether they want to go get help or not, that's up to them. But they can't blame others for their own actions in a sense, because it's not the other person's fault either that you have that illness in a sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. They're the only person that can choose what they want to do with the problem. No one else can make that choice, and it's no one's responsibility to do so. So at the end of the day, people can give you like advice and can help you out with your illness, but like at the end of the day, it's your responsibility, and you choose whether you want to get that help or if you don't want to get that help. Like no one can force you to get it. It's up to you. Another one is, Dabrowski argued that fear and anxiety and sadness are not necessarily always undesirable or unhelpful states of mind. Rather, they are often representative of the unnecessary plan of psychological growth, and to deny its pain is to die your own potential. Even if it is a bad thing, like anxiety and being like and having these problems, better to take those things as positive things rather than negative thing, because without the pain you wouldn't be who you are today, or without the pain you wouldn't have learned a lot of things about life and from a different perspective. In a sense where obviously it's a bad thing, and I understand like, oh, whatever, but if you put it as like a negative thing and as like, oh, this is gonna ruin my life, then you're gonna be miserable for the rest of your life, and you're gonna not learn anything from it, and you're not gonna grow, and you're gonna stay in the same place. So rather make it negative, choose to put it in a positive way. Like all the bad stuff that's happened to me, for instance, yes, they're bad and I hated them, and they're not things that I wish upon anyone to go through, but if it wasn't for those things, I would have not grown. I would have not been the person I am today, and I don't know, I just feel like I would have not been me without those things happening. Without pain there is no growth, and without growth you're just stuck where you are, and that's not what's supposed to happen. Another one is, this one I think is probably one of like my favorite quotes, and it says travel is a fantastic self-development tool because it extricates you from the values of your culture and shows you that another society can live with extreme different values and still function and not hate themselves. This exposure to different culture values and metrics then forces you to re-examine what seems obvious in your life and to consider that perhaps it is not necessarily the best way to live. Oh my goodness, I do not agree with this quote more. I'm a huge person that loves traveling, and I love seeing the world, and I want to see more of the world. And the thing that I love about traveling is that it opens your eyes to more different things and different perspectives. So obviously if I just stay in my city, all I'm gonna know is my city. I'm not gonna know anything else, and there's tons of different cultures out there, and there's tons of different things to see. So it makes you more aware of life and aware of things in a sense. As expensive as it is, traveling is a must like life. Like, I feel like you haven't lived life if you haven't traveled. And you must, and it's good to see how others live, in a sense where like it makes you more grateful for your life and for you to like not take granted for it. Because like if you go to poor places and places where people don't have as much, it makes you more grateful that you have what you have, because there's others that have less, and even though they're still happy and still able to live, they have less than you have. So it makes you more grateful with what you have and the way you're living and how you got brought up. But also, the world is beautiful. Our world has Mother Nature, the oceans, literally amazing. So, and there's a bunch of things in different parts of the world to go see and to go experience and explore. So I advise anyone to travel as much as you can. And yes, like I said, it's expensive and it costs a lot of money, but if you get the opportunity to travel, do it, because you will grow more from traveling. I'm telling you. But yeah, next one is trust is the most important ingredient in any relationship. Doesn't actually mean anything without, and a relationship doesn't actually mean anything without trust. A person could tell you that they love you, want to be with you, and would give everything for you, but if you don't trust her or him, you get no benefit from the statements. You don't feel loved until you trust that the love being expressed towards you comes without any special baggage attached to it. I 100% agree with this. Any type of like relationship, like whether it's as like lovers or friends or even relationship with family or any like relationship, like all of it needs trust. So for me, like I've lived by, not per se like a quote, but like with me in any type of relationship, I've always said there are 3 must-haves in like any relationship, and that is trust, respect, and communication. And you have to have all 3. You can't only have 2 and leave 1 out, or you can't have 2 or just have 1. Like you have to have all 3 in order for the relationship to actually go well. A relationship with trust and communication and has no respect is bound to fail. A relationship with respect and trust but no communication is toxic, and a relationship with communication and respect but no trust is pointless. And you have to like trust your partner, and if it is hard, then you have to communicate and let them know, be like, hey, I'm feeling some doubts about our relationship or friendship or whatever, and let them change, or let them try and solve it or fix it with you. And if they don't change or don't fix it or don't see any problems, then it was meant to be, and it doesn't, like, you just shouldn't be in it. So any relationship needs trust 100%. If you don't trust a person, then leave or communicate and try and fix it, whichever one works for you. But trust is a huge thing when it comes to being friends with other human beings. But yeah, last but not least, The only way to be comfortable with death is to understand and see yourself as something bigger than yourself, to choose values that stretch beyond serving yourself and that are simple and immediate and controllable and tolerant of the chaotic world around you. This is the basic rule of all happiness. Whether you're listening to Aristotle, the theosologist at Harvard, Jesus Christ, or the Beatles, they all say that happiness comes from the same thing: caring about something greater than yourself, believing that you are contributing components to some larger city than your life, that your life is mere side process of something greater, of something great, unintelligible production. That was a lot, and to summarize that, make it much shorter, it's just basically saying that to not fear death, you have to believe in something beyond your life and beyond this world around us, in a sense where you need to just know that, okay, I think the thought of knowing, okay, after death I'm gonna go to this place or I'm gonna have this type of life will make it more at ease than not knowing, because then you're like, think about where am I gonna go, what's gonna happen, blah blah blah, and it's gonna make you even more scared of death and not wanting to die. In all honesty, like, as different as each religion and belief is, I feel like all of them share the same thing as common, and is that if you're a good person and if you do good deeds and good in the world, then your reward is you'll go to some place after death that's much better, and you'll have happiness and love and all those good things that you want. So like, for instance, because I'm a Christian, so I believe that there's a heaven, and I believe in God, and I believe that after life, if I do the things I'm supposed to do and obey God and be obedient, then I will go to heaven. So it's just a matter of fact, like, believe in something greater than yourself, and believe in something, that there's something greater than this world, and there's more stuff out there. Because with that, and with thinking that and believing that, the thought of even death or going to die, because everyone's going to die eventually, but the thought of that is going to be more relaxing. Like, oh, I mean, if I die, then I go to some place much better that has no pain and nothing. That's it, I guess. Those are the 5 quotes that stood out to me in the book, and that I'm like, I need to share these quotes and put my opinion on them. I'm planning on posting this Friday, so hopefully I'm able to edit and actually post this in time so I can post the other ones. But yeah, I have 2 more videos left of 2022, and then I think I'll be done for the year. And hopefully next year I'll post more, because now that I have more YouTuber friends and more people to collaborate, it's gonna be much easier and much more exciting for me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video, and very excited for the next video and for you to check it out. But yeah, bye.